Pathmonk is the AI for website conversions. With increasing online competition, over 98% of website visitors don't convert. The ability to successfully show your value proposition and support visitors in their buying journey separates you from the competition online. Pathmonk qualifies and converts leads on your website by figuring out where they are in the buying journey and influencing them in key decision moments with relevant micro experiences like case studies, intro videos, and much more. Stay relevant to your visitors and increase conversions by 50% by adding Pathmonk to your website in seconds, letting the AI do all the work, and increase conversions while you keep doing marketing as usual. Check us out on pathmonk.com. Hey, everybody, welcome to today's episode of Pathmonk Presents. Today, we are joined by Taylor Jones. He's the founder and CEO of Wishbone Advisory. Taylor, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Great to have you. And, I'm excited to get into it and maybe talk about what do you guys do? What's the heart of what your company does, Taylor? And how would you describe it to someone new?
So, my background, I've been in digital marketing my entire career out of school. I'm really passionate about it. It's not something I studied. I learned a lot on the job, so helping the next gen. But with Wishbone, digital marketing and e-com to me represents for so many companies significant untapped potential, much like an unbroken wishbone. And that was kind of the story of the name. And, we've kind of dedicated ourselves to being a really nice boutique e-commerce marketing agency focused on delivering value, always being transparent on what you can expect from us and accountable, delivering against, what we say we're going to do.
I like that little origin story
Yeah.
right
How
there,
about
just
that?
baked into it. It's pretty cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Nice. So Taylor, are there certain types of businesses or industries where you feel your services really shine, or maybe there's a key problem that you help them solve at the moment, see a pattern, if you will,
Yeah.
as far as problems and, how you can help them.
100%. So from my experience, I've happened to be in house in the home furnishings world, so have a lot of connections there just by osmosis. From being at many trade events, and I really like the industry. It's great people, great product. I come from like the bedding and mattress world, so I sleep well at night. But I would say, the problem for that segment that I really help from an ecom perspective, folks manage is like the multi-channel orchestration and really digital transformation. Many manufacturers are great at making the product, but not great at how to sell it and the quote unquote finding the secret sauce in all of the different retail marketplaces. Really there's a lot of SEO underpinnings of each retailer's website that needs to be optimized, and it's very challenging if you've never really done that before and gone down that path. Many manufacturers have a strong brick and mortar or wholesale distribution, but lack some of the tools to be digitally sophisticated. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, fair
And
enough.
then on the other
And
side, like just for B2B marketing, I think similar problem, but maybe just not. Digital is so important, but it's not just an e-commerce conversion. It's a B2B sale. So, showing up, it may be a specialized niche. I work with clients in the performance chemicals industry or other, very specialized niche components that go in finished goods. They need to be visible, to product development managers, when they're searching, AI tools, et cetera. So similar type problems, geo, SEO, you know, typical trade marketing on social, B2 email. It's all about being visible to your target market. Yeah.
yeah, totally. I'm curious, I'm one of those people working in that industry, right? I'm a manufacturer. I do great. I'm making great products. How do I find out about you? And, is there any specific channel that at the moment is working really well for you guys as far as, getting more business in?
Yeah, I would say, trade events, being visible, going and talking to people. In person is back. I just got back from the Las Vegas furniture market, and had a number of great conversations with a lot of different folks. Um, I think also digitally, I get a lot of interaction to my LinkedIn content. Like, I'm not necessarily trying to be salesy. I'm just posting useful stuff, tips and tricks, and it gets some attention of folks that are in my network. So yeah, I would say LinkedIn and in person have been really strong as of late. Absolutely.
Makes sense. I mean, especially lately, LinkedIn has been booming. And I know, and I understand, the little bit of a premise there saying, not trying to be salesy because we get pitch slapped pretty much every day on
Yep.
LinkedIn. So it's
I,
understandable.
yeah, all the different AI messaging tools, absolutely.
Yeah. And you can totally tell when it
Oh,
is.
yeah. 100%.
So yeah, not fooling anyone. But how much of a role does your website play in all of this? Is there anything about it that you think really works right now as far as getting people, in the pipeline, if you will,
Yeah.
or maybe there's something that you got your eye on improving even?
I think it's a very integral part because say someone finds out about me at a brief conversation we have, or from some, honestly, I have a lot of referrals, so people might tell them, hey, in a sentence, hey, you should check out this guy. So from there, the website is a big anchor point in that journey, just to fully explain what we do very quickly. And I think for me, as an owner and putting together our offerings, like, it has to be kind of the comprehensive home for all the things that we do, and we've layered on a number of things for different folks over time. Um, so I would say that our website seeks to be that repository of information, such that as people are essentially credential verifying, that they can see, oh, they do all of these things, because they may only know about a subset based on, their other exposure to us. Yeah.
Got it.
In terms of
From
weakness, I think
yeah, sorry.
it certainly can always be improved. I think a lot of times we're in this industry, we are the service providers, but as with everything, it's like the cobbler's shoes parable, right? Like, the cobbler makes shoes for other people, but his own children, have the worst. So I certainly don't think my website is the worst, but I wish that I could spend more time, on it. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's a great saying, and it's always relevant, right?
Yeah.
Um, and specifically, for companies like yours, I would say referrals are,
Yeah.
they never went away. You know what I mean? Like, you're doing trade shows and in person is back, as you said, but referrals were always there. So it's the oldest channel, if you will, and
Yeah.
doesn't get out of
I mean,
fashion.
your personal brand matters. And I would give the advice, like, no matter where you are in your career, always do good work. You know, be a good person. Don't burn bridges. You never know what where things will lead you. Certainly that's been true in my career.
That's a great point. So maybe we switch gears for a second, Taylor. We talk about you as an owner, as a founder,
Yeah.
and if you give us a glimpse into your day, right? What's a typical day look like for you? What are the main things you focus on a day to day? What's a day in the life of Taylor Jones?
Absolutely. So I'd say, a couple hours a day are dedicated to, prospective client calls, that are coming in. And then the rest, is a lot of strategic management and oversight, like, working with my team internally to make sure that we're delivering against, all the KPIs and milestones for our number of projects for our clients. And then, spending time, personally, on strategic channel build out, and really deep consideration, for proposal building or for existing clients, just, digging in with them, on where can we win and add value. I mean, ultimately, you know, about growth, like it excites me every day. I love the concept of the 1% every day as a human. I think we all can strive for that. But, for companies, it's all about, how can we create X factor growth? And certainly compounding the 1% every day can get you there, but um as a big help. But, I think that there's a lot of strategy just when you get down to it, and the resource and considering the resources that a client may have, you can really get somewhere fast and be able to put a really cogent strategy together. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, I wonder because you must be so busy running your own business at this point where there's also a flood of content out there. How do you stay focused and keep learning? How do you get that 1% daily? Maybe there are certain places, people, or routines you turn to. If you could, just give us an idea.
Absolutely. I have my favored sites, that I scour. Both just reading the news independently, and then like my network of friends that I trust, and analysts, that I really love, on LinkedIn, that, viewing their take on content, spending time every day in the evening. It's it's maybe odd to say, but I often spend the time, a little bit of time before bed, on the phone. I know, coming from the sleep industry, shocking, perhaps a poor, pre-sleep habit, but I do it. Just reading, news of the day, trends, etc. I also try and, continue just, with professional platforms and other things. Like every year, I love to stay current on the Google certifications, doing those, um, in the weeds. Obviously I've been doing, Google ads and other things for a long time, but staying current, seeing what features are out there, in all of the different retail media, meta properties, etc. It's very important. So, in addition, so that's kind of on an everyday. And then I think, making time to go to conferences and, sit on interesting webinars. Absolutely. That too.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I was, I like obviously being in the sleep industry, as you mentioned, it's a big no-no, right? But lately I've been wearing these light blocking, like blue light blocking
Yes.
glasses.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
guess, that's a compromise that you're doing at least, right?
Yeah. No, that's a new trend for sure. Like, with different frequencies and blue light. Absolutely.
Yeah. So Taylor, we're going towards the back half of our episode here. Before we wrap everything up, I'd love us to jump into our rapid fire segment. So really what it is just, a few questions to keep things light and engaging. Would you be ready for it?
Yeah. Let's do it.
All right. So when it comes to content, do you prefer watching, reading, or listening?
Probably watching for
Okay.
me. Yeah.
What's the latest piece of content that you watched? Could be could be a course, could be a YouTube video, could be a short even, right? That you picked up, and was there anything that really stuck with you in it?
So we're big Netflix folks, and the Somebody Feed Phil series. Phil Rosenthal created Everybody Loves Raymond, and is just a delightful human. It's we love the food that he eats, but it's more of a travel show. My wife and I love to travel. In fact, she's in Bali right now. She's a therapist and is on a retreat for continuing education. Um, but yeah, I think that we just love his zest for life, and, how we can, even though we all have jobs, and need, our jobs to be able to enjoy, to travel, etc. But to travel as much as we can, seeing cultures different from your own, and experiencing life in someone else's shoes is so important to a greater worldview, in my opinion.
That's a great point. I love that. I haven't watched the show, but I used to watch the Anthony Bourdain one, and
Yeah.
it was a great
So
show too.
he I know you're in Italy. He visits Italy some, so it'd be very interesting to see if you agree with his take on where he went.
All right. I will check it out then.
Yeah.
I'll check it
Cool.
out.
Yeah.
If you had a magic wand, Taylor, and could fix one frustrating thing in your marketing life with tech, what would it be?
I think, you know, I'm a very good strategist. Like, I think I never, as a creative person, I'll take it back all the way to preschool. I've never been great with art projects. Okay. The teacher, they called it enrichment in preschool. She just would, I'd come out with her at the end of the day and shake her head at my mom. But so occasionally I'll use AI tools to help generate a visual or something. It's so frustrating to me when you give it all the specs and it's like 95% of the way there, and you give it like a, hey, can you fix this? It just cannot do some of the fine tuning yet. So I feel that it's close, but for right now, like, that just irks me to the nth degree. But I'm able to hand what I've done off to a designer on my team, etc., and be like, hey, I got it to here. This is what I want to do, and then they'll make something even better. So
So
yeah.
you revert back to humans, right? So that's good.
Yeah, exactly. It's not just all AI slop for sure.
Right, right. That's good. That's good. Um, if you could go back, Taylor, and give your past self a quick pep talk, the start of your journey, your career, what advice would you give yourself?
Again, I think it's always just staying hungry and got to go fast, like Sonic the Hedgehog, man. Um, when I started, I didn't, I didn't exactly know what I wanted to do when I grew up, and I still feel that way. I've had a lot of rich experiences, and I really just like helping brands grow in whatever form that takes. Um, you know, the precise specialty, or obviously I've developed several over time, but you know, I think just stay flexible, and be open. Be open is in two words. Yeah.
So that's a good way to close. Taylor, I want to thank you a lot for being on the show with us today. I also want to give you the last word. If someone forgets everything about the interview today, what is the one thing that they should remember about the work you guys are doing?
I think, for the work we're doing at Wishbone, we're here to help clients deliver, X factor growth in their digital marketing and e-commerce. We want to be useful, transparent, always, and accountable for what we deliver. If we feel we can't help you, we'll tell you before we, do anything, given your resource constraints, etc. We love being that sanity check for people, as well. And yeah, if you're interested, feel free to reach out.
How can people do that? Where can we send them?
Yeah, they can contact me by email, Taylor at wishboneadvisory.com. Hit me on LinkedIn, or check out our website and fill out a contact form.
Amazing. All right.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll include everything in the show notes, but
Okay.
it's
Perfect.
good to, it's good to know. Also, thanks for sharing your email. It's good to know where people can, can reach you.
Mhm.
Now, Taylor, again, thanks for sharing your insights. It was really good to, get to know a little bit more about you personally, about Wishbone Advisory. So maybe we get to do this again soon, sometime
Yeah,
before the
I'd
the
love
year
to.
ends. But in the meantime, I really want to thank you for your time and wish you a wonderful day.
Absolutely. If you ever get down to Austin, Texas, look me up. We'll get some barbecue.
All right, that sounds good. That sounds good.
Awesome.
Okay, thanks, Taylor. Bye, everyone.
Yeah. Bye bye.